Hey, Internet, good morning. Mark Arena here, Boston, Massachusetts. And the snow has started falling, and it's a little after 11 o'clock, and it's Sunday. It's the 25th of January. And my chicken still needs to get cooked. So Wendy and I eat a ton of chicken, well over 20 pounds, if not more, of just chicken breasts alone as some of our food staple protein sources. So it still needs to get done. Last night we were joking because we had steak and sushi, and I was out there grilling steak, and I said, I'm probably the only one in the neighborhood grilling right now. And right now I think I'm the only one in Massachusetts that's grilling right now, which is very possible. But anyway, as you can see, I got this wicked mountain of chicken here, and I'm going out to grill. So if you're paying attention, you see I have a dirty hand and a clean hand. And I do that mostly because I do it only because I'm dealing with raw chicken. I don't use a ton of seasonings when I grill my chicken, only because Wendy tends to season her food when she eats it, and I don't. So this, you can never, here's a pro chef tip, you can never take away, you can only add. So you can't take away from seasonings once you've seasoned your food. So in any case, I'm going outside in a minute because I gotta start grilling. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Last night I WD-40'd my screen track here of my slider, because even though I know this snow is going to get in it, it'll be much easier to get it out. Sometimes a little bit of ice gets in the track, and then it's wicked hard to open the screen. I don't want to break it. But check this out. So here I am. I got a fleece jacket on top of my bathrobe and my pajamas. I've had this coat for probably nearly 20 years. I think the Army gave it to me. 24 chicken breasts, just like that. As you can see, I also was wearing gloves. This way I can take this off, and then I can just handle everything clean. And then after that, we'll start washing pans. Check that out. That's the finished project of everything you saw earlier. And I still got the grill going because now I have some steak out there as well. So I'm gonna go back out there in a few minutes, flip that. There you go, kid, check that out, steak tips. Wendy will probably eat these throughout the week to top off some of her macro needs. Now, listen, if you didn't know it, steak tips is actually a Massachusetts thing. So sometime between the 1950s and the 1970s, some butchers, probably up on the North Shore, came up with an idea to use sirloin in different ways. So, if you're from around here and you ever went to the Hilltop Steakhouse, then that's where you saw steak tips. And that's why Market Basket sells so many of them. It's totally a Massillon thing. So, bon appetito. Hey, all right, so now we have the chicken done, we have some steak done, and now these are gonna be frittatas. I make these the beginning of the week for Wen. This is like the core of her breakfast. And right now I'm just adding egg whites. There's like nothing magical, nothing scientific to any of this. And it's just gonna be 180 grams of egg whites. And then I'm gonna add spinach and mushrooms and some scallions and a little garlic. She gets one whole egg in each one. And they're pretty good. I mean, I've had them, they're pretty delicious. I think she likes them. So that's what we got going on next, okay? So we tend to eat a lot of carrots, And you know, really, because carrots are good, not a ton of carbs in them, lots of vitamin A, can't go wrong with that, and they're really low in calories, and they fill you up, and they're good for you. So we cook about 4 pounds a week, and we steam them. So steamed carrots with cinnamon and a little bit of salt. We don't add any sugar to it, and they come out wicked awesome. They're sweet, and they're delicious, and they fill you up. So we also eat a lot of squash, and you know, squash is really good because, again, not a lot of calories, decent amount of vitamins and fiber and whatnot. So we do that. So I've got some leftover butternut squash here, and I got this butternut squash here, and I'm gonna chop it up, and then we're gonna roast it. And I think after that, we're gonna roast some red potatoes also. So this is wicked easy. I just cut them into the discs, and then, you know, I just chop them up. There's nothing fancy. And then from here, I just make the cubes, and I throw them over there on a baking pan, and then they'll go in the oven pretty much with everything else. So, you know, I don't know. No magic, no science. A lot of this should have been edited. All right, so I have a fucking shit ton of red potatoes. We've had probably like 15 pounds like kicking around for the last couple of weeks. So we haven't made any. So today we are, and I'm gonna roast these red potatoes. Probably the most, at least probably the most nutrient dense of potatoes, of like yellow and white and russet and whatnot. So that's why we go for them. I don't eat a lot of them, and I have trouble digesting the skins. So when I eat them, I actually peel them first. So these are mostly for Wendy. When you roast them, you know, the weight of potatoes just drops because of all the fluid that is you know, roasted out of it, so to speak. And you end up with, because we eat things by weight, it's like mountain of potatoes. So, but they're wicked good. All right, so I mentioned earlier that we use quite a bit of squash. So right now I have, in the oven, I have butternut squash roasted. I have potatoes roasted. I've got a pot on the stove with the sort of the remnants of the butternut squash that I'm gonna just boil down. I'm gonna mash them. Wen doesn't particularly care for those anymore, but I do. It's really easy for me to digest them. So carrots are also done. We'll show those in a little bit. All the meat is done. The rice is done, and now we're gonna make zucchinis. In some of our haste this weekend, we forgot to buy some extra tomatoes. So typically I fry my zucchini with tomatoes, and it comes out wicked awesome, but that's not going to happen this week. So this week it's just going to be zucchini fried in a pan, just sort of like everybody's grandmother used to make. And it's nothing fancy. I'm just doing it just like these into discs, and then I'm going to quarter them, and then I'm going to fry them up in a pan. So this is pretty much what the zucchini is going to look like. Like I said, typically I would add a large can of either diced tomatoes to this, like the Italian seasoned with basil, and an entire can of tomato paste, and it would volumize this and thicken it, really without adding any additional calories, but adding tons more nutrients. So this is really just cooked down with olive oil spray, some basil, regular Italian seasonings, black pepper, salt, and garlic, and a little bit of onion powder. So no added fats, just all this goodness. And then I'm gonna throw this in a colander, and I'm gonna let it drain because nobody likes really mushy zucchini. These are what the steamed carrots look like when they're done. Look at that, it's delicious. So these end up being wicked sweet, very cinnamony, with a very, very faint flavor of salt and butter extract. Comes out wicked awesome. I can show you a little bit of what the frittatas will look like. This is what they look like when they're done. So this is spinach and mushroom and onion frittatas. No tomatoes this week, but probably next week. And then over here we've got all of the roasted butternut squash and part of the roasted potatoes. And some of the potatoes that I couldn't get in the oven to roast are actually in the air fryer, and gonna make some homemade French fries without any added fats. So now I'm gonna start putting meals together. So I start with Wen's because mine are much easier to do than hers. So right now I'm cutting up chicken. So you saw that wicked mountain of chicken, and this is my chicken slicer. It's I think it's made by Gardet. It's a stainless steel kitchen grade chicken slicer, and it will cut it into 3/8 of an inch. So you can't just do a regular chicken breast because these things are wicked enormous. So I just use my chef's knife and I slice it up into more manageable pieces, which takes like 7 seconds, and then I just throw it, look at this, bam, bam. It's also very satisfying, as you would imagine. So I get to do that, and then this will yield just nice cut up pieces of chicken, and we just add it to all the meals, and then we'll have some that's not added to the meals immediately that we'll store and eat throughout the next several days. All right, we'll see you.
All right, show us what you got.
So about 6 hours later, we're now finally done really with meal prep. But you know, honestly, this is just the core of most of our meals. So this is usually Wendy's side, and there are, I don't know, 10 separate meals in here, not including 6 days worth of breakfast. And then I have 10 of my meals, which usually constitutes either one meal or a pre-workout meal, and then there's the meals that we haven't made. And then we have all the vegetables on this side, potatoes and carrots and whatnot. Wendy's breakfast for tomorrow is already put together. And then steak and ground beef, chicken, what's left of the rice that we made within the last 24 hours, bananas, a couple dozen eggs. I use Ezekiel bread, and I use Naked Blue Machine juice to get some quick calories and lots of phytonutrients, and I drink that in and around my workouts. All of Wendy's sugar-free condiments, and then rice milk, egg whites, Coke Zeros, and some other crap. So that's what we got. That's a wrap, kids.